Okay, chapter 22, number 9. At its current short-run level of production, a firm's average variable costs equal $20 per unit, and its average fixed costs equal $30 per unit. Its total costs at this production level equal $2,500. And we are to find the firm's current level of output. And I'll tell you, we're going to use that to find its total variable cost at that level of output, and its total fixed cost. So these questions, very typical. They're a puzzle where the better you know the relationships of each of these new things, new to you that we're talking about, average variable cost, total cost, all these things, the better you know what those things mean, the easier it is to solve the puzzle. And believe it or not, they actually get a little fun because of the puzzle nature of them. So there are different ways we can think about how to approach this. I could approach it as if we just knew everything, which would probably be a bit of a lie. So let's approach it like we didn't know everything, and let's start with some things that we might know and take a stab at. Let me try to pretend that that's where we are with things. So I know, hopefully everyone knows, that total costs are broken down into two parts. So the sum of those two parts must always equal total cost, right? Fixed costs plus variable costs equal total cost. I also know that average total cost is equal to total cost over quantity. Average fixed cost is equal to, these formulas, if you want to think of them that way, are not hard because average just tells me that Q is on the bottom. What's on the top is the other part. So fixed cost over quantity is average fixed cost. Average variable cost is, well, variable cost is what I'm looking for. So that's what's on the top. And quantity is on the bottom of everything. That's what average is telling me as well, is that quantity is on the bottom. Well, look at this relationship and look what I wrote here vertically. Q is on the bottom of all three things. So look, what if I wrote it like this? Isn't that these three things over here? Well, the tops are the same. And when you add and subtract fractions, you have to have the common denominator, and all you do is add and subtract the tops. That's how fractions, arithmetic with fractions work. So this is the same as this. So if you could just remember that total cost is everything, and everything is broken into two parts, so the sum of those two parts must be everything. You're kind of, I'd say, about halfway there. You could take a stab at this, and so if you're going to say, well, maybe I don't know these relationships that well, but if I have average variable costs and I have average fixed costs, what if I added those together? I have 20 plus 30 equals something. Well, this is here, this is here, and what it equals is something. Sure enough, it's this right here, average total cost, and that's clearly 50. If 50 is average total cost, 50 is average total cost, which is just total cost over quantity. And I'm asked for the quantity. That's what I'm asked for in A, is the quantity. What divided by what equals 50? What other piece of information am I given? Total cost is $2,500. So $2,500 divided by Q is equal to 50. And now I have two knowns and one unknown, so hopefully I'm home free. That means that 50Q is equal to $2,500. Divide both sides by a coefficient to get rid of it. 50 divided by 2,500 divided by 50, and Q is equal to, must be 50. Let me make sure I haven't made an arithmetic error here. Yep, I didn't. Q is equal to 50. So that's your level of output, is 50 units. And you could get there. I mean, I tried to poke around at this as if, you might try some different things and get there. And it's a puzzle. And sometimes with a puzzle, you try to take a piece and you put it in the spot and you go, no, that's not the right one. And you move and you try something else. That's how these are. It's just the nature of this questions in this subject and in a lot of subjects. It's just a matter of just keeping on it and trying. And at the end of the day, you reinforce your understanding of these relationships. So that's A, and a little bit about why I'm dragging you through this. Then B is what are its total variable costs at this output level? Well, now that we know that Q is 50, I'm going to have to get some space on my whiteboard here. We know that Q is 50, and we had some other given information. This one is variable costs, total variable costs. Average variable cost was this 30, right? That was in the given question. Let me make sure I didn't switch those. I did switch them. Average variable cost was actually this 20. I switched these. So let me just take that away. I switched these because they're adding, and it doesn't matter the order. I accidentally switched them. But we were told in the beginning of the question that average variable cost is 20, and now we're asked for total variable costs. Average variable cost is variable cost over quantity. 20 is given in the question. We just figured out that 50 is the quantity. So what are the variable costs? 50 times 20. That's 10, because 2 times 5 is 10, so that's 10, and you keep the zeros for each one. 20 times 50 is 1,000. So your monthly bills to make, not your monthly bills, but your bills to make the 50 units, they're costing you in inputs, they're costing you $20 each. So to make 50, the total of all those inputs would be 1,000. As long as my arithmetic is correct, and that's what I got in the past. So that's right. And then the last part of this, letter C, is what are total fixed costs? So I had switched them, and I could have still done this. I just had the answer switched. That's fine. Fixed costs we could get to, because average fixed costs goes here. We figured out here, and we're asked for this. So this, we were told in the beginning of the thing that average fixed costs were 30. Average fixed costs were 30. We're asked for fixed costs in letter C, and we have solved that the quantity would be 50 based on the total cost. So 5 times 3 is 15, and you have this 0 and this 0, so they fall into place, and that's your fixed cost. So your monthly bills are $1,500. The inputs to make the 50 units are $1,000. 1,000 plus 1,500, I'm pretty sure is equal to 2,500. Let me circle back to the beginning. This will tell me if I made a mistake. I didn't, because in the question it said total costs are 2,500. So you can work yourself, I mean, if you're looking for something fun to do during coronavirus lockdown, you can work yourself in a full circle when you answer these questions, and enjoy all the gratification that comes from that.